Alrighty, welcome back, boys and girls. It's your main math man, Mr. Shen, coming to you live from Walker Grant Middle School. And in this video, we're still working on that SOL review guide for Math 7, and we're now on that 7.9. So we're now talking about, using those histograms, making observations and inferences, and then also comparing them to those other types of data representations. So now, for number 1, actually before that, it says use the circle graph and the histogram to show, or to answer the questions below. So it has Mr. Duncan asked 20 7th graders how many apps they had on their phones, and it has the data represented in two different graphs. So now let's try to answer some of these options. So it says, all right, for number 1, which statement is not? So again, not true. So that means that there are 3 answers that are true, and then another one that is false. Okay, so let's see. There are 2 intervals with the same amount of data points. Well, let's see here. So again, 2 intervals. Again, this is an interval between 2 numbers. And then it's saying, okay, is there 2 equal amounts? Well, yes, there is. There's 1, 3, 6, 7, and 3 again. So this one is true, so we don't select that. We said for B, it says the most data points are between 31 and 40. That is true. Again, using that histogram. 20 students were asked. That's given. And there was someone with 1 app on their phone. Now, a lot of people are going to say, hey, I see a 1 there. That's true. However, it's saying that there is 1 person that has between the number of apps of 1 and 10. So they could have 5 apps and there's only that 1 person. So that's why we can't claim that as being true. Actually, we can't claim that as being true. For number 2, it says which of the following statements is true. So that means that we're looking for just true. That means 3 of these are false. For A, it says there are 10 numbers in each interval. That's possibly true. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. I believe that's true. We could say the range is 49. Short, possibly. The mode, you're not going to be able to get that using a histogram. Actually, it's review. A histogram does show, it does not show individual data points, meaning like that last one, and it does not show the mean, median, mode, or range. So we can't do range, median, or mode, and so yes, there is 10 numbers in each of those data points, which is why it goes in sets of 10. And then for number 3, let me scroll that up. For number 3, it says, look at the histogram above. What percent of students have between 31 and 40 apps? So how do we do this? Well, we have to take the number of people with number of people 31 to 40, which there are. The number is 7. How many total? It'd be 7 over 20, which is the same as 35%. Very similar to using that probability. All right. Still working with number 4, or excuse me, still working with those histograms. So let me actually fold this over so that we can still use it. All right. So it says, look at the histogram above, which we're still looking at. What percent of students have at least 21 apps on their phone? So let's figure out first the number of students. So at least 21. So we're gonna say it's gonna be 6 plus 7 plus 3. So we're gonna say it's 16 students have at least 21, which out of the total of 20 is going to be 80%. So we'd say 80% have at least 21 apps on their phone. Moving on. still get this in here, hopefully. All right, so for number 5, it says, which circle graph matches this histogram? So it actually gives you, if you notice, it gives you those percentages that you were looking at. So what was that percentage that we had on that last one? For number 3, it was 35% was on here, which, so 35%, 35%. This is not 35, so it can't be C, and this is not 35, so that can't be A. All right. Again, usually when you have a multiple choice answer, 2 of which are obviously incorrect, and so then we can compare the other ones. And so, all right, what do we have now? So I noticed a difference between the 41 and 50 interval, so let's figure out what that percentage is. So again, we have for 41 over 50, we have that it's 3 people out of the 20, which is the same as 15%. So we're going to say D is incorrect and B is our circle graph. And then lastly, moving to that number 6. It says, which stem and leaf plot represents this histogram? So that's going to be a little bit trickier, but we can certainly do this. So just looking at it carefully, we know that we're going to have only one person in that, let's say in that 1 to 10 range. So that means that it cannot be D, because it has multiple people in that 1 to 10 range. Actually, let's see, what would be another possible one? As 40, I don't believe any of these would work out because we only have 3 that, oh, okay, we could have 3 in there, sure. So that means that these two, so looking at that 41 to 50 range, I know that 41 to 50, I can only have 3 of these, so I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't be that one, and it can't be this one either, because it's 4 of those values. However, for this one, it could be 40 because, again, it has those 3 values, so we say it could be C.